Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. I know that you guys know that. All right. Now, also know on this channel, if you are new to the channel, that I like to look at everything. So the readings are a little bit longer because I take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play it as karmic themes. This helps you understand why everything is playing out the way that it is, allows you to see how you are contributing to the imbalances in your situation and how you can actually shapeshift your situation. Now, that doesn't all the time mean that you get to be with the person that you want to be with, or that they all of a sudden become a different person, because no one becomes different unless they want to change. But if there's unconditional love and we change, many times it forces the other person to change without you saying, you need to change, you need to change. Because when you say, you need to change, you need to change, person will never change. If anything, you just are going to it's going to bother you because you're going to feel like this person doesn't listen to you. You're going to feel like they don't care, when that's not really it. It's people treat you the way that they, have taught themselves to treat you. Everything is a habit. We go through most of our life on autopilot and we don't realize it. It's about learning to be present, learning to be in the moment. And we will always see how present we are within our relationships. I feel like you're connected to someone that reacts a lot. And this is what they've become aware of, a reaction. When we have been traumatized in our relationships is not good, because we're taking all that pain, all that trauma, and bringing it into the next connection. So the same types of experiences keep playing out because we are unconsciously creating those experiences. And so I feel like you're connected to someone that tends to do this. I don't know why. Again, spirit tells me, again, a little nugget before we jump into a reading, but again, this is what it wanted to tell us. So we're going to see what that has to do with anything. And we're going to see by pulling the word of the video. Okay. Now, again, you will write this word in your comment bar if you want to enter into winning free reading with me. You'll know if I chose you if I wrote the word winner underneath your comments. If I did, just again, reach out to me through my email and we'll figure out the best day and time that works for the both of us. And then I will send you a link back. All readings that I give away are always done live on YouTube. I don't send a private link. It isn't like that. So if you want your reading to be more private, you have to send me your questions ahead of time. And then I will just channel. I won't say your name. And I very rarely say the person's name anyway that has won the reading, just because sometimes people don't want other people to know. So no one will know. Only you'll know that it's your reading because you got the link. All right. The word of the video is attachment. Attachment. Ugh. Attachment means pain. And attachment means pain because, again, I feel like you're connected to someone that has an attachment with somebody else. And I feel like they don't know how to be in a regular relationship without, again, creating attachments. This person didn't give you that much, and they came across as someone that's really confident, that has their life all together. That's not this person's life. This person has someone, I feel like, on the side that does everything. And that might be they might do their laundry, they might clean their house. If they have children and they're divorced, they take care of their children. They're an attachment where they don't get emotionally what they need unless they're so self-sacrificing that they're giving everything and they know that your person does not love them. They know that without a shadow of doubt, and they're angry, they're resentful. And so they formed an attachment, and I feel like your person holds back from you because there's a sense that they don't really feel like you like them a lot. They think as soon as you get together with them that you're not going to stay with them. So this is why they have that attachment on the side is what this energy is of attachment. Now we're going to see again why. What was this person like when they were with you? How did it trigger you? What's the point of the connection? It's again, are they planning on changing? It's again, and what you can do to balance out your energy with or without this person. What you'd obviously do to integrate the spiritual lesson. You need to, whether you're with or without the person, that's just all the time to get yourself back to a place of balance. So let's see again, self-righteous. So I feel like this person wouldn't let you get close. I feel like you'd ask them a few questions. They were really defensive. They were judging you. Okay, like of that fact that you would ask them so many questions, they would try and flip it around and try and make you feel as if you were insecure when you weren't insecure, where really they're insecure. They would never put themselves in a place of vulnerability, so they would never admit when they were wrong. They would never admit when they hurt your feelings. There was a sense that they weren't creating the intimacy, and intimacy is just trust, that bond. Like, yes, you felt that they were connected to you, like physically, that they were interested and attracted to you. That wasn't the problem. It's again, they wanted you to be submissive. They wanted you to not share your opinion so much. They wanted you to go along with whatever they gave. They didn't want you to be in your power so much. And the problem is that I feel like you're a strong person. And there's a part of them that's attracted to that. They didn't want you to be that though with them. With other people, yes, so that when they can hang off your arm, hey, they feel strong. They like who they're hanging around. They like all the benefits of being with a strong person, but they don't want to do anything to fuel that, right? It's again, what makes a strong person is that they surround themselves with people that feed them emotionally, not people that just drain. Attachments drain. It's again, and so there's always a sense that you felt like this person was not committing. They were always searching. They were always looking for somebody else. And then when you call them out on it, they were defensive. So it's like, oh, they were just gaslighting. That's what it felt like. And then just not being reckless. Like, I feel like this person deliberately just acting like they didn't care. Like, and that could be talking to other people, drinking, like putting more time in like just bad behavior, but just really showing you, I don't really care about this connection. But I feel like it was really that this person was showing you, I really don't care about myself. And it's like on a deep level because it's like I choose to stay with what is easier unless you are going to sacrifice yourself almost. And sacrifice yourself means not have an opinion. Like you have to go along with what I say and what I give. It's my way or the highway. Which is disgusting. It's like, and then you're like, and then because you weren't going along with everything, this person would again blame you, say, well, you're the one that makes it so difficult. You're difficult. Again, where really they didn't give you anything to work with. It's like they wanted you to accept the breadcrumbs. This is how an attachment is formed, by the way. When a person that is someone that, is a doer, is a giver, doesn't know their own worth, they're going to continue to accept the breadcrumbs and give and pick up the slack where the other person doesn't. And the thing is, you weren't doing that. And this person was like found it, like again, knew that you were resisting it, but was like, then would stonewall you. And then again, would like say that they like punished you because they had to, because you were being difficult. It's again where this person again stonewalled you. They didn't give you time. Felt that they had more time for other people, other situations. Again, it was, which is how they were trying to condition you. Like I said, they were stonewalling you, where I'm trying to make you feel as if you're not as important, if you don't know your worth. But when you give, I'm nice to you, I give to you because I'm happy for what you do for me. But it's like, I'm not going to be nice to you if you don't, again, go along with it. It's again, this person has abandonment issues, and I feel like it triggered your abandonment issues because these are your triggers. So it's like, even though it says this person's like triggered your abandonment issues because they would weave in and out of your life again, like continuously showing you that you couldn't depend on them, that emotionally that they weren't there for you, that your needs weren't as important as theirs. It was a one-sided relationship. And like I said, if you weren't going to go along with it, then it was your problem. But like I said, I believe that this person abandons themselves because they're not willing to be in a connection that they really have a connection with you, because they feel like they're not good enough. Or it's not even that they're not good enough. They just have a distorted sense of what they perceive that you should do for them in order for them to feel comfortable with. And that is why I say that they're insecure. They just don't know that they're insecure. And they certainly act like they're not insecure. They act if they're self-righteous, like they have a right to want all this. Like, how dare you not do it for me? Like, you're the problem. You're the one that makes things difficult because you're not just going along with it. So, like, again, of course, you're not going to feel safe. Of course, you're going to feel like you're always looking for someone. And that's triggering my abandonment issues because you're clearly giving time to everybody else except for me. And then when I call you out on it, you're defensive. And then you deliberately do things that you know are going to trigger me, where it's again all trying to create an attachment to me, which is a one-sided relationship pretty much that keeps me bound to like feeling as if I'm not enough. So I had enough of it. I had enough of your manipulation, your bad temper when I don't go along with what you do. Oh, you may not be screaming and yelling at me, but you're angry, you're rageful. I feel like you're rageful because of what you do. You deliberately hurt me. You deliberately try to make me accept breadcrumbs and then create a problem and then say that I'm the problem. What? I don't understand what the fuck you want. What is this? What's the point? What's the point of it? And what do you feel? I see you working to create change again, and I feel like this person like sees that you're like doing things, creating change, and though they are proud of it, I feel like they're triggered by it. And I believe that they're triggered by it because they would want to work with you. There's a part of this person that knows once you go out into the world, well, you're going to get a lot of attention, and that's the thing. This person likes that. They see you're working on a mission. They're realizing that this connection is something that's special. But I feel like it's not that they don't know that their relationship isn't special. I feel like their perception of what you should do. But this is the irony. This person would not give you any time at all if they didn't think that it was special. There's a part of them that's rageful because it's like they're like, why shouldn't I have it? Almost treating you like property. It's again, and really, I feel like what they're seeing is that they can't control the connection. And in the fact that they can't control the relationship, it's creating a lot of turmoil. It's creating a lot of turbulence for this person because they want to, it's not like they don't have feelings. They do. It's that they've been connected to somebody that's an attachment for a long time that has taught them that if someone loves you, they're going to be like sacrificing. This is what this person was taught, and not just by like who they're with, but I feel like also like they were raised by somebody that grew up and they watched that person be self-sacrificing. So there's a sense of a distorted perception of what relationships are supposed to do. And this is what really codependent relationships are, but they again are created due to abandonment issues. So no one comes in and says, hey, I'm codependent. They play games. They unconsciously play games. But understand, if there was no love there at all, this person wouldn't do it. This person admires you, but they admire you almost like property because they haven't taken the time to emotionally, build the connection, build the trust. Again, they're more like fragmented. I feel like that's really what it is. It's like this person is very fragmented. And it's like they have a long road, like really ahead of them before they really would know truthfully what to feel confident in themselves in a relationship. And that's really what it is. They don't really know what they want, and they don't know what they want because what happens is that I do have feelings for you. This person has feelings for you. They admire you. However, it's like they haven't put the time in. They have too many issues. They need for the relationship to look a certain way for them to feel safe. You're not going along with it. It triggers the shit out of them. So the thing is, every time it triggers them, then they don't know what they want anymore. And it's because you're challenging them. You're not making it easier. So then they try and go out and replace you, and then now no one's satisfying to them. So that also frustrates them. So again, they have a long way to go before they find what they want. But their journey hopefully will help them grow. And it's because they haven't really explored who they are. They go from relationship to relationship to relationship, and their way is to make the person that they're with like evolve into what they want. And then what happens is they don't want it anymore. And that's what you know. It's like, so it triggers your abandonment issues because you see that they're trying to manipulate you in order to get what they want, that they're coming in and out of your life, not really putting you first, always looking for somebody else. So this person tends to always go for lower hanging fruit that they can manipulate. They weren't able to do this with you. And that's why it's very confusing. You're on a higher vibration and they, again, almost like don't know how to deal with it. They keep trying to deal with you the same way that they've dealt with other people. And what they see is not working. And it's almost like you're like, again, when you're in a relationship, you're always tempted to like just opt out of the connection because you see it as so much work. You see it as so much work, where I feel like this person is always tempted to opt out of the relationship because they've commitment issues. So you're both mirroring each other, but this person, like, again, is like, they always like seem to like want something outside. And they will, because if they are so busy trying to manipulate the person into getting them to become who they want, they're not looking for a partnership. They're either looking for a mommy, they're looking for a caretaker, they're looking for everything but that partnership. They need that person so that they can then go out and then stray and then be in a relationship where they look like a balanced person. This person's fragmented. Again, pieces. We see them like, again, that's what that represents to me. Again, like it was just too difficult. Again, they make the situation and the relationship too difficult. And so with a situation like this, where obviously we just see like that is not going anywhere because this person, like, I don't think is going to be willing to budge. Are they going to be willing to budge? Are they ever going to change? I'm feeling intuitively, if they do, they will just revert back because they're a creature of habit. It's again, that's number one. So the cards may say that they may change, but change happens over time, and change happens not because you get angry and walk away. It's because they actually did the work to change. And that would be by integrating these fragmented pieces. It's again, which again, it's almost like it's complicated. Okay. Like it's like this person like now just feels like it's too difficult. It's like again, they would have to do a lot of work to come back because now it's an out of control thing, it's like almost like a hassle. It's like where this is how the person tends to opt out. It's like they create so much turmoil within the relationship where I feel like you made this person hold to a standard and they were not willing to hold to the standard. They fought it on every level. So now that what could have been an easy thing to fix, they know is not really going to be easy to fix. And this is how, like, again, they ruin connections unless they get, again, people to do what they want. But the thing is, then those connections don't work out because nobody wants to be in a connection with somebody that doesn't have a backbone, that doesn't have an opinion. Okay, like again, still. So there's a sense of yeah, like they would need to like cultivate, and I feel like and really purify themselves, and that because it's again they're not they need to they need to heal. And if anything, I feel like this person drinks. I feel like, again, it came up before and it's coming out again. Alcohol, we see it again, alcohol. But again, they would need to refine themselves. They would need to purify themselves, but they don't. Like I said, I feel like they drink and they make the situation a lot worse because they avoid. And avoiding is, again, by not just talking to other people and in search for other people that are going to feed their needs, but again, in very indulgent behavior, in very reckless behavior. And that's what I was saying earlier. And it's because they're fragmented. It's again, and so there's a part of them that stays connected to you because they do. Again, again, this person is very sexually attracted. When we ask, again, why did they stay connected? Again, because of this, okay? There's a sense of them sleeping on it, yes, but them also like having intimacy problems, but being very knowing that there's a lot of chemistry there, okay? Knowing that and feeling like, well, we have this like astral connection, which is again that ESP connection through the mind. And maybe we could again have it like leisure, right? Having it like where I feel like on their terms. And that's why I say that because they know that there would be a lot of relationships. So again, they wouldn't mind having a love affair. But the truth of the matter is again, like they don't want to do the work. They don't want to heal the mess that they made, pretty much, because it would require them to change. So the best that you could do is say, well, then what's the whole point of the connection? What am I supposed to learn from this situation? Because if the person doesn't want to like change. It's just frustrating, and why? And so Spirit says, well, there's always stuff to learn. You know, it's never a failing situation. You can integrate the spiritual lesson. It's what this person brought out in you. And what we see is they didn't give anything. They're very rigid. They only want things their way. So I feel like, first of all, you were brought up by a parent that only wanted things their way. They were very rigid. So again, and when you didn't do it, they were not flexible, where maybe you saw your friends growing up and their parents were flexible. They gave in. There was a little wiggle room. There was no wiggle room. So it's almost like abandonment issues is that emotional abandonment of, when I didn't go along with what my parent wanted me to do, they stonewalled me. They didn't talk to me. They ignored me. I felt rejected. I felt like, again, they had time for everything else. Everything else was more important. And again, addictive behaviorism. So maybe there was addiction also growing up in the house, some sort of the person that raised you couldn't show up, right? Because they weren't showing up for themselves. So it was very overwhelming, right? So again, overwhelmed. So when we look at the inner child cards, it's like, well, why were you overwhelmed? Again, well, that would come from, again, being brought up from parents that were not stable, they were not supportive. And again, I feel like it's that my way or the highway. But again, sometimes it just didn't logically make sense. And sometimes that meant that you had to go against what you really wanted. And everybody else was doing something else again. And there was just no wiggle room, is what I felt. Yeah, and if you didn't do it, you were like shamed. Shame is really that energy where it's like I was made to feel bad about myself. And that's when a parent like projects their anger onto that child, makes them feel bad. It's again because I don't agree, or I had my own opinion and my opinion was different than yours. And I thought that I could handle it, but you didn't like the way that I handled it. I should have been this way. I should have acted that way. I should have, could have, would have energy. It's again making you feel not good enough, making you feel as if you're bad. So again, this is a wound, making you not feel safe in relationships. Like get into relationships, you get overwhelmed by other people's needs and wants. Maybe that was a program at one time, but you seem to have healed it because, like you said, you weren't not easily manipulated into doing what this person wanted you to do, which is kind of the way that you were raised, right? Shamed into it. If anything, again, you learn to escape as a child through your imagination. And again, your imagination also, when you use it a lot, expands your psychic ability. So intuitively, you just didn't feel safe. So you knew to like back away. So I feel like that's a gift. Again, the child that survives thrives. If you don't feel safe, emotionally safe is just as important as physically safe, because you're a truth speaker and you're like, you're like, no, I have to be true to myself. I've already done that. Again, growing up in an environment with a parent that is, again, angry, that projects their beliefs and then making you go along with it. And then there's consequences. And understand watching that parent not be successful in their own life, not wanting to follow their advice, not wanting to live by their way. So being a truth speaker at a young age, a lot of times that means you're the black sheep of the family. That again doesn't mean that everybody was right and you were wrong or vice versa. It means individuality, what you perceive, like owning yourself, you like being true to yourself, like honoring your needs, honoring your wants, honoring what's true for you. And this person wanted you to go against it the same way that I feel like in imbalanced households, a lot of times that's what it is. It's like you need to go along with what I tell you to do, not what you do. You're not allowed to find yourself. You're not allowed your unique unfoldment process. I don't like the way it looks. You should look like this. You should be like that. You should do like this. You should do like that. It's again because society told them. You know, our families grew up into societies, and again, those societies put judgments, and again, now those judgments get distorted because we all put our own twists on them. So again, you having to be true to yourself, where, and again, being in a place of hope, which is saying, you know what, I know that I can attract unconditional love and that this is not it. And I feel like you grew up having that as a gift too, meaning like it's bad, like the growing up with somebody that's so overbearing, that doesn't allow me my freedom of expression, that doesn't allow me to be myself. However, I have hope. I know that one day I'll be able to be true to myself. And what I feel like is that the universe said, well, let's see if that holds true. Because, you know, you're going to get the same lesson. I want to see how you handle this. And what I see is that you had enough. You walked away. You were like, I don't see what this is, and I'm not going to go for it. And Spirit says, yes, that means that you passed the spiritual test, because what we see here is that this person isn't even like, they're not going to do nothing because you're not changing. It would require them. They created a big mess, and have too big of an ego to really do anything to repair the connection. So they're willing to let it go. And what Spirit says is, it's all about gaining courage. It's about becoming stronger. So if that was always your fear, like, oh, I have a fear that I'm going to wind up with someone like my mom or my dad, that was so like overbearing, that didn't allow me to have an opinion, what Spirit is saying is, you're stronger than fear and bigger than doubt. It's meaning you have choice. It's again, you're not that child anymore. You have free will. That situation did happen and you handled it differently. You were able to access your free will. You trust in God and you stand tall before the test of life. That was a test. And you passed it. And you grow and you become wiser through every challenge. And you begin a new life, meaning you create a new neurological pathway, you create a new experience. That is not an experience anymore. Because if that person comes to you, you recognize it, you're not going to entertain it. It's not like you're a child and you're stuck in that relationship. That's the trauma of feeling like, oh my God, I'm going to get stuck with the person. What's going to happen? I'm not going to have any control. It's again where that energy you needed to integrate, and not just integrate, which is learn and see it from a different perception, but you actually have to transmute it, which is go through the situation and handle it differently. And that's what you did. And that's why Spirit says, yes, it takes courage, because, you know, there is fear around it, but being present, being in the moment and owning who you are now and rewriting the story to create a new way is what this situation helped you do. All right, Virgo, I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.